first song is the title track, Heritage, which is an instrumental song that I wrote. I can't really play the piano, but that's a piano song, an upright bass. It's basically inspired by Swedish musical heritage that we have with the Swedish folk music. And in particular, this artist called Jan Johansson, who's a jazz pianist, quite famous in Scandinavia and played with all sorts of jazz musicians. His album was the best-selling jazz record in Sweden and maybe in Scandinavia, actually. A record called Jazz på svenska, which basically means jazz in Swedish. So he did jazz interpretations of folk music, Swedish folk music. And it's the most beautiful album ever, all categories. He's the dad of Jens Johansson, who's the keyboard player now with Stratovarius. And he played with Yngwie Malmsteen. And he's the dad of Anders Johansson, who's the drummer in the Hammerfall, also with Yngwie Malmsteen. And I initially asked Jens to play on the album, because Per wasn't in the band anymore when we were going to do that. And he couldn't do it or something. It would be fun to have the son of the guy that inspired the actual song, but he couldn't do it. So we got Jocke Svalberg playing this song, and he's now the new keyboard player in Opeth. So he's actually on the album, which is good. And that's the first time I ever heard him play piano or play keyboards, is when he recorded this song.
Just that little intro, and that's the very first.
Yeah, that's the first time he recorded it. It's the first time I heard it. I was sitting next to him, it's like, that's pretty good. So yeah, I'm really happy to have him on the album. I'm really happy to have this song on the album. Quite proud of this song, because as I say, I can't play piano, but I made play the melody, wrote the melody, and recorded that, and then recorded the rhythm piano separately. So it kind of opens the album in a nice way. Second song is the first single, or whatever you call it, single. The Devil's Orchard, which is maybe the fourth song I wrote, one of the more straightforward, not heavy, but up-tempo songs on the album. And it was Steve Wilson's idea to have it as the first proper song on the album. I initially wanted the third track, I Feel the Dark, to open up the album. But he said, you should have this song, everybody will like this song. Okay, yeah, whatever. So that became the second song. But it's a good song, I still listen to that one, and I'm not tired of any of the songs. And this song still keeps my head. Third song is a song called I Feel the Dark, which is the second song I wrote, I think. And probably one of the more traditional sounding Opeth songs. It's just that the production of this album makes it sound a bit odd and a bit different than what we've done before. But it could probably be on an earlier album with a heavier type of production. So I'm not sure what inspired that song. I just wrote that song, kind of finding my feet. Devil's Orchard, when I did that song, I was already well into the songwriting, and I was listening to Magma, the French band Magma, wrote Devil's Orchard.
Survey an impulse of lust, the thespians far away, rooted yet forced to stay.